Welcome, in front of me is a Xiaomi Poco M4 Pro, and today I will show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this phone. So, these things will be quite simple, just things that you might want to change when you get the device. So, let's get started with the dark mode. Now, on the device we actually have a better option over the dark mode with the option of like schedule mode. So let's go under the display section right here, and you'll have just a hard toggle, as you can see, light and dark mode. But in here we have schedule mode, as you can see, and you can enable it and then choose, for instance, custom. So you can select what time it will turn on the dark mode and then turn it off. And the reason why I consider this to be a better option is because you can have it set to dark mode during the night time, and during the daytime it will automatically switch to the normal light mode, which I would consider having, well, this be the best of both worlds. Because during the nighttime, let's be honest, light mode is not the best thing when you're getting your irises blasted by the bright screen. So this will help you out. Now moving on to the next option, which is also under the display, is going to be the refresh rate, which is right here below. And by default, for some reason, it's set to 60, so let's change it to 90, which will give you a smoother image whenever you're doing anything on your device. Now it does consume a little bit more battery life, so if you want to prioritize that, I guess I recommend you to stick with 60 instead. But for everybody else that doesn't mind sacrificing this couple, like, I don't know, maybe an hour of battery life overall from the entire like 100%, then 90 is a really great option. It will just improve the smoothness of just navigating the device, and you should be able to see it like right away. Now moving on to the next thing, which is right above the refresh rate, is the color scheme. Now, Xiaomi is one of those companies that sets it to vivid, and not everybody will like it. Now, vivid on Xiaomi isn't as obnoxious as it is on Samsung, but still, some people might prefer, as an example, standard, which makes the display less bluish and gives a little bit more of like this, what I would consider, or compared to true tone look, where it just kind of makes it a little bit more yellowish. And also makes it a little bit more easy on the eyes. Personally, I do prefer the standard mode. Some people obviously like the vivid, which saturates the images quite significantly over the standard, so there we go. That's more of a matter of preference. That's what I prefer, and if you're the same way, there you go, there's the option for it. Now moving on to the next option, it's going to be the full screen display, which is just a fancy way of saying gesture navigation, but that's how Xiaomi calls it. Now you can find this in, I believe, additional settings, but you have also the blue text that redirects you to it, and here at the bottom of the display section. So as you can see, full screen display, click on it and this redirects you straight to the option. And in here, simply click on this one. It asks you if you want to learn the gestures. I'm gonna select not now, I already know them. And for everybody else who hasn't ever used them, you swipe up to go home. There we go, swipe up to go home, and when you let go it just goes. You can swipe up and go to recent, and then swipe from either side to go back. So there we go, those are the gesture navigation, which work really nicely. And additionally, because we don't have the buttons at the bottom, icons are being shifted a little bit further down to accommodate for the extra space on the display. And last thing that I wanted to show is the home screen section. So when we go into the settings, you will find home screen. And in here we have a couple options that you might be interested in. So number one, we have a couple just general options, like for instance the default launcher. So if you want to use a different one, you can change it right here, though you first need to download it. We have backgrounds, icon packs, and so on. Now the more interesting things are things like the app drawer. So if you have selected that you are using just the, I believe it's called standard for some stupid reason, well, I would consider app drawer to be the standard on an Android device, but hell, what do I know. You can change it right here. Additionally, we have also home screen, which allows you to toggle a couple of things. And we have notification badges. We also have, there we go, icon layouts, so you can change the grid. And here, as you can see, it also shows you how it will look. So we have the icon size, and it looks like it's already set to max, so there we go. And last thing, and probably one of the most handy things, is there we go, manage app categories. So let me just quickly actually show you what this is. So in here, when you go into your app tray, you have all your applications right here, right? And category all. If you ever realize there are actually other categories, so you can swipe to the side. And yes, I know, I just swiped. You don't need to give me the guide once I actually figured it out. So there we go. You can swipe between the categories, which the device sorts applications to their respective category. So these are the default ones, but as you've seen, we can actually change them. For some reason left, so let me get back there. So we can change these categories, and we can also add our own. And in your own category, you can just have whatever you want. You can categorize the apps however you like. So it's a neat way to have apps that you might be using quite often, easily accessible at any moment in a separate category. Now this is really nice, though to be fair, I will, even though I show this as a, I guess, a great feature here, I'll go into one additional thing. So as an example, I am using on my phone Smart Launcher, and for me, Smart Launcher comes with this as well as a default, just with a better implementation. So as you can see, I have categories as a default option, and you can quickly swipe between these categories to navigate to whatever you need. And additionally, if you swipe down on it, it gives you apps based on your like recent usage. The device kind of detects what app you might be using at a given time and gives you this as a recommendation. So that's a great alternative over the stock version right here, if you prefer to have something that works a little bit better in this manner here. So that would be a Smart Launcher 5, what I'm using. So anyway, this would conclude the changes that I would recommend doing on your phone. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.